Hello, I'm Mark Robertson, President and Founder of Really Useful Information. On behalf of USC's Marshall School of Business, Office of Executive Education and RUI, I'd like to thank you for attending today's webinar about online-based business models. USC and RUI's partnership is designed to help media professionals such as yourself get a handle on the challenges facing our industry today. We offer courses in digital technology, branding and integrated marketing, and leadership to deal with today's rapidly changing business environment. This three-part webinar series is excerpted from our Media and Digital Technology Management program. We are offering this course completely online beginning June 4th. The program is the equivalent of a 3-day course that you can take at your convenience, and those who complete the program receive a certificate of completion from the Marshall School of Business. To find out more, you can send us an email at the address on your screen. We are pleased to have with us today Tim Napoleon as our presenter. Tim is Chief Strategist for Media and Entertainment at Akamai Technologies and is also one of our RUI industry experts. Tim is also a Marshall grad. Tim is an experienced leader in the economics of streaming media and entertainment. Tim.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just to get started, quick housekeeping. Any questions that you'd like to ask of us, please go push the Ask button. Actually use the email that's on the top of the slides. And so, great, we'll get started. So we hear this term a lot. Can't open the paper nowadays without hearing about online advertising. There's a lot of different theories about online advertising, and you could talk for months on online advertising and not get to the bottom of every issue. So today, we wanted to keep it focused on one particular portion of the online advertising space. We're going to talk specifically about one of the fastest growing parts of online advertising, which is in-stream advertising, specifically video advertising. So you can see this chart here put some projections out there. So even in this macroeconomic environment where things are getting a little compression in the economy and such, and some traditional forms of media are having some compression issues in their revenue, we're seeing that with online advertising, it's still a high growth space. And so you're seeing online things like Hulu and others are coming out with offerings to capture this ad revenue and ad dollars. So we see the trend line there of a 50% growth market, and that's why you're seeing these big media companies aggressively push into the video space online. So video advertising, let's talk a little bit about it. So it used to be when you come to a website, video was kind of a sideshow. It was in the back of the website, maybe 3 or 4 clicks deep, and that was a function of computers weren't fast enough for the consumers, broadband wasn't quite there, and the content and rights issues hadn't been addressed fully enough to make people put premium content on the web. You cannot go to a major media site today without seeing video in the foreground. So every major site out there today has some type of video right on their front homepage. Whether that's in the US, international, global, video has taken over the homepage because it's the killer app for consumers online. And so consumers love it, but the business owners and the P&L owners at the media companies love it. And in one sense, yes, they do, because you get a much higher CPM rate for video. So what we're showing here is premium content CPM rates. So these CPM rates are not factoring in things like UCG or lesser content. This is premium content, and the CPM rates are seen across the industry according to a study done by Bain and the IAB. And so you can see here, this is a compelling argument that media companies are going to want to do more with video advertising. And so you can see here, one of the other things that's putting a lot of pressure on the marketplace is that consumers are having higher and higher expectations of the quality of video that they want. So you're seeing this kind of phenomenon in dorm rooms where people are watching a lot more of their content on their laptops. And so they're using these experiences where they're going full screen with the video on their laptops. And so the economic model around moving to quote-unquote HD online video is putting some price pressure on the media companies on their distribution costs. And so what they need to do is raise their revenue. And so you can see here on this slide, it really shows that the longer form content, the premium episodes, are what consumers want, but it's also some of the hardest content to monetize for the simple reason. Let me show you. So, the content owners definitely think that higher quality and longer form video is something that consumers want. They think they can get longer engagement times, which means a larger audience. And so they think they can monetize it. But traditional models of online advertising and video with just a pre-roll, maybe a post-roll, what they kind of call linear advertising, doesn't scale with the length of the content. So historically, you've seen a lot of the business models be around 3-minute clips. And so when you go to a 30-minute clip, all of a sudden your business model breaks down if you're only serving a pre-roll. So how do we solve that problem? So a couple things. So the first thing, many companies, including Akamai, companies like iWonder, DoubleClick, Atlas, have come together with the IAB, which is the standards body for online advertising, and proposed standards around something called in-stream advertising and quote-unquote nonlinear ad units. So nonlinear ad units are things like tickers, bugs, interactive pre-rolls. These type of additional ad units have a very good economic impact because they increase in scale with the length of the content in terms of revenue. So let's take a look at what your business model looks like if you add in-stream nonlinear ad units to your player. So this is the old model with just a pre-roll, and a pre-roll is like a 15-second video at the front of the clip. Now we add the interactive in-stream, which these could be the little tickers that come up underneath the window, and I'll show you in the next slide some actual examples of this type of advertising. So when we put in that in-stream nonlinear advertising, you can see now that your revenue model scales with the length of engagement time. And that's critical for running an online business with long-form content. And so we say, okay, great, now we have higher CPMs, we can monetize longer engagement times, we're going to attract larger audience because we have a premium HD content offering. These are all the right trends to be moving towards. And so let's see somebody who's actually doing a pretty good job of this. So once again, recapping the trends we talked about, getting video right out there on your homepage so you capture the large portion of your audience. You see American Idol. This has video right on the landing page of AmericanIdol.com, one of the most popular sites out there. The next thing you can see from this American Idol case study is that they're really doing a lot to bring their advertisers front and center. So you can see here with this Crest campaign, the player takes over with interactive pre-roll, so you can see all the branding around the player. You can see that the they have a side banner for click-through and impression grabbing, as well as they'll have tickers, bugs, and other type of advertising for Crest that comes into the player. So this is very highly valued real estate. They're generating a ton of audience because it's on the homepage. The quality of the video is excellent. So this is kind of putting it all together in the right way for advertisers with American Idol. And you can see here, so they've also broken out so they can support multiple sponsors. So you have Coke, another leading display advertiser, and different fruities here, hair care products. Oops, I'll go back with it. So you can see here, just to recap, they're putting video on their homepage. They're using a lot of interactive ads that are increasing their CPM rates. They're using nonlinear interactive as well, which allows, even with these longer clips, it allows them to scale their revenue models. And then, lastly, they're really working with their advertisers to create a very engaging experience, so the advertisers are willing to pay more. And so when you hear out there in the media space that sometimes people say, you can't make money with online video, or online video is difficult to make money with, that is simply not the case. When you take it and break it down in these components, and put it out there in this type of way, and bring this forward to the advertisers are very excited about supporting these type of models. Especially because many of the advertisers right now, their biggest problem is internally, they're seeing that the more money they spend online, it's one of the best areas that they can spend money because the returns there are higher than some of the traditional media. But frankly, they just don't have enough inventory out there that they feel comfortable sponsoring. So, quote unquote, in the marketing term, they can't scale their online vehicle to the levels they want to scale it to. So as a content owner, we need to bring forward more experiences like American Idol that get the advertisers engaged and allow these revenue models to scale further and bring more of the money online as opposed to some of the other ways that advertisers can spend their money.